In a city that never sleeps, terror struck when it was least expected. Imagine a metropolis, vibrant and alive, pulsating with the rhythm of millions of heartbeats. The streets filled with the symphony of life, laughter echoing from every corner, and the city lights painting the night in hues of joy. But the veil of merriment was abruptly torn away, replaced by a chilling, sinister shadow. The city, once a playground for lovers, dreamers, and night owls, was now the hunting ground of a maniac. A phantom in human form who lurked in the shadows, biding his time, selecting his prey. The first victims, unsuspecting souls, were found in the most public of places, a grim testament to the maniac's audacity. Their fate was sealed with terror, etched permanently into the city's memory. The news spread like wildfire, a spark igniting a citywide panic. The city's heartbeat turned frantic, its rhythm disrupted by the icy fingers of fear. Whispers of the maniac's deeds passed through the crowds, each tale growing more gruesome, more spine-chilling than the last. The once lively city was now shrouded in a cloak of dread, its people living in the shadow of the unknown. Nightfall, once a time of revelry, was now a signal for doors to be bolted and windows to be shuttered. The city lights, once a beacon of hope, now seemed to flicker with uncertainty. Streets that once echoed with laughter were now silent, the air heavy with an unsettling stillness. The city, in its entirety, held its breath as the sun set, bracing for what the darkness might bring. The city's transformation was complete, from a bustling, lively metropolis to a ghost town echoing with fear. The laughter had faded, the joy replaced by a palpable fear that gripped every heart. The city's pulse was now dictated by a maniac, its rhythm altered by his reign of terror. As the nights grew darker and the streets quieter, the city waited in bated breath for the maniac's next move. The city that never slept was now forced into a restless slumber, the shadow of the maniac looming large. The city, once a haven of nightlife, now held its breath as darkness fell. This was no ordinary nightfall. Each twinkle of the stars, each whisper of the wind, brought with it a chilling reminder. The maniac was still on the loose. The shadowy figure, who had once been nothing more than an urban legend, was now the faceless terror keeping the city awake at night. The maniac's reign of terror continued unabated, the toll of his victims rising with each passing night. The city's streets, once filled with laughter and music, now echoed with the chilling tales of the maniac's gruesome deeds. The maniac, it seemed, was not just a cold-blooded killer. There was a twisted sense of artistry to his madness. At each crime scene he left behind cryptic clues, a chilling signature that served to baffle the police and amplify the city's fear. The city was in the grip of a terror that was as palpable as the cold winter air. The citizens, once proud of their vibrant nightlife, now dared not venture out after sunset. The bustling city had turned into a ghost town, its silence broken only by the distant sirens of police cars. Rumors about the maniac's identity began to circulate. Was he a disgruntled citizen, seeking revenge on the city that had failed him? Or was he an outsider, a deranged mind who found pleasure in the city's fear? The speculations were as wild and varied as they were terrifying. Yet they all pointed to one chilling fact. The maniac was still out there, lurking in the shadows, ready to strike fear into the heart of the city once more. With every passing night, the city's fear grew. The maniac's reign of terror seemed unending. The once vibrant city was now held hostage by a faceless terror. The maniac's reign had turned the city into a nightmare, a chilling testament to the power of fear and the darkness that lurks within us all. As the city cowered under the maniac's reign, a glimmer of hope emerged. In the heart of this urban labyrinth, a dedicated band of detectives began piecing together the jigsaw puzzle left in the wake of the maniac's terror. Each clue, a cryptic message, a breadcrumb leading them deeper into the mind of the maniac. This was not just a chase, it was an intricate dance of wit and willpower, a race against the clock, a quest to unmask the faceless terror. The city watched, its breath held in anticipation, as the detectives moved closer to deciphering the maniac's twisted game. With each passing day, the tension grew palpable, like a thick fog wrapping itself around the skyscrapers. The city, once bustling with life, was now a stage for this chilling cat-and-mouse chase. The detectives, fueled by a burning determination, began to close in on the maniac's lair. The chase had led them to the city's underbelly, a place where shadows whispered secrets and every corner held a new mystery. The suspense reached a fever pitch as the detective stood at the precipice of the maniac's world. And then, the climax of our tale unfolded. Cornered, the maniac was finally within the grasp of justice. The dance was over, the mask was off, and the city's terror was apprehended. The face of the maniac was revealed, a chilling end to a tale that had gripped the city in its icy fingers. The city breathed a sigh of relief as the maniac's reign of terror finally ended. Yet the relief was tinged with a bitter aftertaste. The maniac may have been unmasked, but the scars of those dark nights lingered. The city was forever changed, its innocence lost to the maniac's reign of terror. The story of the city maniac was a chilling reminder of the darkness that lurks in the shadows. A tale of terror that would remain etched in the city's history, forever casting a long, haunting shadow.